I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
I met Marcos Garza.
Is Richmond Raceway America's longest short track or its shortest super speedway? Either way you look at it, Richmond embodies the characteristics of both and is a rocket-fast challenge to every driver who competes on the three-quarter-mile oval. Racers from Craftsman Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and NASCAR Cup Series find that Richmond requires both power and handling. To win here, you've got to have it all. Richmond Raceway started out as a half-mile dirt track on the Richmond Fairgrounds, first hosting races in 1953 under the name Strawberry Hill Speedway. 68 years and 4 track configurations later, there's 51,000 plus grandstand seats, 40 luxury suites, and since 1991, many events have been run in the evening under the lights. Tonight, the lights are on, and it's the DEP Graphics Truck Series GOATS 170. It's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Richmond Raceway. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, bringing you tonight's The GOATS 170, Numb Thumbs Racing League DEP Graphics Truck Series 170-lap event here tonight. Air temperature 77 degrees, very dry, 33% humidity, cloudy skies, though we can't tell, it's dark out anyway. Track temperature 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Go down trackside and see where everyone is shaken out here in the practice session. It is about to come to a close here. Just over a minute remain. Andy Sizemore didn't recognize him right away. He's running those Harvick colors recently. Now it looks like he's got an AC Delco paint scheme on that number 27. Zach Millett fastest so far. For whatever reason, having some issues getting these numbers to populate properly. Well, pay no mind to it. Practice is over. We're going to jump right into qualifying here for just a moment. Looks like Chris Klein's going to be first to roll here tonight. Number 51 machine. Chris Klein out of Buford, Georgia, quickly out of turn 4, taking the green flag. First lap for Klein, 22.576, puts him second fast to Vincent Short. Short, a little loose out of turn number 2, down the backstretch, a 22.28 for his first lap. Lift again out of 4. Let's see where he lands. Second lap, 22.7. Double O Joe Bennett through 3 and 4, a 22.77 first time around. Let's see if he picks it up here on a second lap. 22.46 puts him 8th fast. Meanwhile, Brian Rose goes to the point on his second lap at 22.128. Larry Dickerson, the number 69 machine, has found some success here lately in Numb Thumbs. Second lap, 22.25. Good lap for Dickerson, puts him P6. Zach Millett on the racetrack, fastest in the practice session. Fresh off of Homestead Miami Speedway, haven't even rewrapped the truck. Millett on his first timed lap. Arcs it down out of 4. Gets the power down, keeps it straight, doesn't lift. 22.502 is 14th fast for the lap 1. Let's see if he can pick it up here, put himself in the top 5, and maybe take over the top spot with Lawson. 22.09 to 20s on the provisional pole right now. Millett out of turn 4. 21.909 seconds for that as 4 takes the top spot away. Blaine Woodruff on the track. See if he's got a shot at P1. Ooh, real loose on exit. That's not going to help. Second lap, is it quicker? 22.37. It is not. 12th quick for Woodruff. Albert Anderson, the number 747. Albert out of Stafford County, Virginia. .22.470 lap 1. Anderson picks it up, second lap, 22.27, puts him top 10, but only briefly as Alfie Charon goes 10th, 22.26. Second lap for Alfie, 8th quick, 22.19, good lap for the... What is he running this week? The 78. Dan Baker on the racetrack. Just about everybody's gotten their laps in except for Baker and Ottinger. Still about 4.5 minutes remain in the qualifying session. We are going to jump out, take a short break, be back for our starting grid here. Just a brief couple of minutes here. Stay with us. Won't be gone long.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
I met Marcos Garza.
Welcome back to Richmond Raceway for the GOATS 170 DEP Graphics Truck Series. Let's take a look at our starting grid with the pole position. Lap time 21.909 seconds. Only driver to crack that 21-second mark. It's that S4 guy of Zach Millett. Outside front row, it's the 20 of Justin Lawson, about 2/10 shy of that pole position. So row number 2, it's the number 7 of Russ Kilgore, with Brian Rose, the number 89, starting 4th. Starting 5th, it's the 13 truck of Paul Durkee, with Nick Cote, the number 94, rolling off from the 6th starting position. 7th starter, the 08, with Dirty Donkey Racing. Dylan Bryant starts 7th. 8th starter is going to be the 78 of Alfie Charon Jr. Andy Sizemore with Plus EV Racing. He's going to start 9th, with Larry Dickerson starting 10th. 11th goes to Albert Anderson with Limitless Motorsports. Vincent Short's going to roll from the 12th starting position. Starting in 13th, it's Brandon Coleman, the number 19. Blaine Woodruff, the number 71, starts 14th. Chris Klein will roll from the 15th starting position. 16th starter, Scott Milner, the number 31. Double O Joe Bennett starts 17th. Dan Baker starts 18th. Robert Chipman Jr., the number 55, starts the 19th position, with Tony Polk, the number 8, starting in the 20th spot. Last but not least, it's the number 76 of Jeff Onger, rolling from the 21st position, opted not to qualify here tonight. Two pace laps here at Richmond Raceway, considered a short track, so we'll make sure we get everybody formed up nice 2x2 before we go under the green flag. Front row is going to be Zach Millett and Justin Lawson. Millett's going to hold him down here. Teammate Brian Rose there in row 2 in the outside, the 4th position.
Green flag.
Pace truck is down, green flag in the air. We're racing from the Goats 170 in Richmond. Zach Millett leads lap number 1 over the 20 of Lawson.
Caution.
And we got a caution. Larry Dickerson in trouble.
Have to throw quick and then tell me what you got.
Spinning down here at the front stretch into the grass. Not sure if it was unassisted. Vincent Short looks like he was in this in some way, shape, or form as well, though damage not really present on that machine. Try to get a replay of it here in just a moment. Oh, slow that one down. 69 definitely got to the inside of Vincent Short there. Not sure if he went up or Vince came down or maybe a combination of the two. It's exiting turn 4. The 15 machine, that's up top. That's Vincent Short. Down low, the 69, that's Larry Dickerson. Oh, Vince just starts to get loose on exit. You see him laying rubber. Cold tires, pressure's not up in these tires just yet, and he starts to come down trying to save it. Contact is made. Not a big wreck by any means, certainly enough for the caution, but it sends Dickerson down through the grass. He's going to catch some air here. Dukes a hazard style. Meanwhile, Vince just slowly, lazily spins through into the grass just a bit. Minimal damage to these trucks, if any, to speak of. Should hinder their progress the rest of the night. Maybe a little bit of track position, but other than that, they should be good to go. But Dickerson still sits pit lane here. Don't know if he towed around or what he's trying to get done here. He's been in there a little bit, long enough for 4 tires and fuel. Maybe he did have some damage that he needed to get fixed from that Well, X Games style jump. There is some right side damage showing on that truck. So quickly under our first caution here at Richmond, 5 laps in. Didn't get a chance to cover it in the open, but let's take a look at the point standings coming into tonight. It's playoff time, folks. Top 20 drivers. Now down to, I think, 15. Zach Millett, Larry Dickerson. Dickerson high up in the points here, having some struggles early tonight. Paul Durkee, Justin Lawson, Chris Klein, your top 5. Last week's winner, Zach Millett. Alfie Charon was second. Larry Dickerson came home in third. He's got some work to do tonight to back those numbers up. Lights on the iRacing pace truck are off. We're going to give this another try here. Hopefully get a few laps in and get some tire temperatures up. Get the air pressures up in these machines. Certainly makes handling less of a concern. These first couple of laps can be a little scary.
Green flag.
Zach Millett continues to lead, about a half-second advantage over the 20 of Justin Lawson. Brian Rose runs third. Russ Kilgore, Paul Durkee in the top 5. Right on board with Justin Lawson. He's got Brian Rose hot and heavy behind him. Brian drives it way deep into turns 1 and 2. Again, 1 and 2. Brian Rose drives it down to the bottom of the racetrack, a little closer than he was the last time by. Oh, pushed a little too hard on exit. Lawson's going to give up some time here. Brian Rose to the bottom. That's the thing here. Richmond Pass is so difficult to make. You can get to the inside right here in 1 and 2, but the guy on that outside can kind of pinch you down, make the radius of that corner a little tighter than you want it to be. You burn up that right front tire. You're going to make the pass on the bottom. You got to do it pretty quick. Better route the guy up the racetrack. Meanwhile, Zach Millett just checking out. 2.3 seconds the advantage to the 315. Brian Rose completes the pass. Lawson's fallen back again. He's under fire from Russ Kilgore. Kilgore in that number 7 ortho machine. Lawson maintains the position, though, takes that back. He runs P3. Let's see if he can do anything with Brian Rose and retake the 2nd position. Rose was about a 10th faster the last time by over Lawson and about a 10th slower than race leader Zach Millett. Oh, Lawson on to turn number 2. He's in the wall. Caution on the
Hey, man,
speedway.
your mic sounds like it's a little far away from your mouth. Can you just double check that for us, please?
Let's take a look at it again here, the replay. Lawson having some trouble on a turn 2. That trouble was Russ Kilgore. A little bit of contact from the 7. Lawson up top, that number 20 machine, the 7 of Kilgore on the bottom. Watch on board from Brian Rose. This will tell the tale here. Kilgore coming up. And it looks like Lawson just doesn't go all the way up to the top of the lane there. He could have gone a little further, but Kilgore certainly expected him to. That's the way it goes sometimes, but that's our second caution of the night. Russ Kilgore, Justin Lawson. So under this caution, let's jump out and get another break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Richmond Raceway, the pace truck down pit lane.
Green flag.
Restart underway. Zach Millen, a great jump over teammate Brian Rose. In fact, 1-2 truck lengths out over these top 2. Rose is going to lose this spot. Combination good restart for Millet, bad restart for Rose. Dylan Bryant to the inside. Close quarters racing here out of turn 4. Brian at the bottom of the 08 Pepsi machine. It's allowed the 94 of Nick Cote to enter the battle. Nick Cote was thinking about it on the high side, didn't have enough of a run to get alongside Brian Rose. Brian has managed to take back that position from Brian. Don't want to be battling too much, especially here. Caution on the speedway once again. Blaine Woodruff looks to be in trouble here, yes. Number 71. Middle of 3 and 4 here, coming to blows. Third caution of the night, 26 laps in. Let's get a look at it. Oh, Sizemore just gets to the back of him. A little bit of a tap. Vincent Short comes in and doors him hard. Nowhere for the 15 to go. Let's look at that one again from the blimp. Let's slow it down a bit. Entry to the corner. You see the 27 of Sizemore. Just a little bit later to the brakes. Tries to get down to the inside. A little tiny tap. Stays in the brakes to let the 71 try and save it. Doesn't tap him again. Woodruff slides up the track, but then he gets off the brake. He might have been okay if he just held it up top, but he comes back down in front of traffic. Vincent Short, the unlucky driver to come in and make contact at the end of this thing. So Woodruff down pit lane, by all means, likely going to take a fast repair here. Now, they've only got one DEP Graphics Truck Series, one fast repair for the night. It's the just in case. Something like this happens early on in the race. You got the opportunity to get a quick fix, but I don't know, maybe he doesn't have the quick fix or doesn't have it turned on. Nevertheless, he's been in the pits there for a little bit, or maybe he's just gambling here. Truck felt okay. Let's fix it the best we can the old-fashioned way. Save that fast repair for later on in the race. Likely to get one to go here. It'll be lap 30. Restart lap 31 if all goes well. There it is. Pace car lights off. The official iRacing pace truck. 3/4 of a mile left. We'll be back around here, take the green flag, and be back underway here for the Goats 170. I'm not sure if Andy has just taken an end-of-line penalty or just been given one, given the circumstances. Either way, he's going to the back. Back out front, Hollerboy's racing teammates going to hold the field down, restart this race. Green flag in the air, Zach Millett off and running. Ryan Rose trying to hang on the right rear quarter of the 315 out of turn 2. Not enough, but he's still alongside into turn 3. Now Millett gets clear out of turn 4, can put the power down. 32 laps go up on the board. And Nicote really wall riding there coming into turn 1. Barely scraping the right side of that truck in the safer barrier. Battle for the third position between Dylan Bryant and Nick Cote. Cote, the number 94 on the high side. Alfie Charon, though, he's watching this unfold, hoping he can take advantage. Millett starting to put some distance on Brian Rose here, 7/10 of a second. Still watching the battle for the third spot here. Dylan Bryant, Nick Cote. Bryant, the 08 Pepsi machine. Alfie Charon in behind watching it, trying to take advantage, waiting for a mistake out of somebody. But meanwhile, Albert Anderson starting to tuck in behind Alfie Charon. He looks ready to go. Just won't go away between Nick Cote and Dylan Bryant. Back and forth, side by side for the last handful of laps. Certainly since we went back under the green flag, but Cote might have him here. Gets clear on the high side, takes the spot, moved the 94 up to P3. Like we talked about, Alfie Charon trying to take advantage. He does. He goes to the inside. Bryant slides up the racetrack, still side by side out of turn 2. Below Joe Bennett, a little loose moment on a turn 2 as well. Gathers it up, keeps it straight. Charon still on the bottom side here with Dylan Bryant. Still not able to clear the 08 just yet. Zach Millett still out to a 1.2 second advantage over teammate Brian Rose. Continue to watch this battle here for the 4th position between Alfie Charon and Dylan Bryant. Both drivers not willing to give up. You see their lift points are identical, at least into turn 3. The backfire coming out of both pipes at the same time. Alfie drove it a little bit deeper in that time. Still not enough because he's pinched on the bottom. Bryant doing a good job keeping him on the bottom. I think Alfie's only move here is either tuck in behind and ride, try and force Bryant up the racetrack enough to get clear. Again, Albert Anderson's moved in. The 13, Paul Durkee, he's closing in the gap. And Vincent Short, even through his struggles today, has been involved in a couple of incidents. He's up into the 8th position. He's having a good run so far. Issues or not, Vincent Short's got some pace tonight. Paul Durkee's on the charge too. He's taking his position away from Albert Anderson. Durkee up to P6. Durkee's got some pace. He gets by Alfie Charon with ease. So does Vincent Short. I gotta wonder if these guys took tires. It certainly looks it. Lap 27, yeah, pit stops 15.08 for Durkee, 14.5 for Vincent Short. That's a tire stop. These guys a little bit fresher rubber underneath them. Justin Lawson in the 20, it looks like he did the same, as did Dan Baker, Jeff Ottinger, Larry Dickerson. I'll tell you though, Vince has some pace, obviously, with those fresh tires. He's going to make short work of the 08, maybe even the 13 if he can get some clean track between them. Bryant goes up the racetrack, now Short in P5. 70% fuel maximum capacity tonight, and 4 sets of tires available over the wall. So that makes it 5 total with what they start the race on. Some drivers already have opted to burn a set here early on in this race, mainly for track position. In fact, I don't really blame some of these guys because they may have been tied up into different incidents. Lost a ton of track position. This is a good way to get it back. A place like Richmond, Virginia, best lap of the day so far, 22:10. Right now, Millett's pace a full second slower than that, your race leader. That's your tire fall off. Last time by for Vincent Short, he ran a 22:88. It's not a real big difference, but it can be. 3/10 of a lap, 3/10 of a second per lap. It does add up. And again, as you see, Vincent Short creeping his way through into the top 5. Chris Klein out of 2. Almost brushes the outside wall. He's got company, and Brandon Coleman on the bottom side, the number 19. Stick with that battle for a minute. Coleman, I don't know if he got loose out of 4, but Klein drives away from him on the front stretch here. Oh, Coleman to the fence. Kilgore's got to take evasive action. Sizemore almost got into that as well. It's very easy to do. I ran about 100 laps here myself last night, just trying to get a feel for what these trucks were going to be like. I'm not good at saving tires, so I burned the right front off after about 20 laps. And this guy's out there running right now, certainly impressed. I was nowhere near the lap times we're seeing right now. Quick Esports, Alfie on the dark side team now. Damn, no, not yet. He's just an HBR associate. Sizemore just punches the wall in the straightaway. Not sure if he was looking up at his overlays or what happened there. Pancakes the right side of that number 27 truck. Looks to be superficial. Tony Polk to the inside of Brandon Coleman. Coleman's starting to slip back. He got a piece of the wall a few laps ago on corner exit. I think it was out of turn 2. Trucks are certainly building tight. Means the nose just doesn't want to get into the racetrack, doesn't want to turn. This is the battle for the 14th position. It's Coleman, Polk, Dan Baker in 16th. Yeah, Coleman wanted that low lane bad. Saw the 8 truck go down there and tried to turn in, but it was just too late. Seems that the fresh tires are going to be favorable to the top lane, but as the tires wear, you want to get down to that bottom groove, trying to get that truck to rotate. It's Coleman stuck on the outside, and he's just getting eaten up on the bottom. Zach Millett still your race leader, 1.7 seconds over second place Brian Rose. Paul Durkee in third, Vincent Short fourth, Nick Cote is fifth. Dylan Bryant rides in the 6th spot, Alfie Charon 7th, Albert Anderson 8th, Justin Lawson 10th, Lawson 9th, Chris Klein 10th. So continue to watch a battle here between Coleman and Jeff Ottinger now. Coleman's been sliding back here ever since making contact with the outside wall. Still a battle for position on the racetrack. It's for 16th. Ottinger had it for just a moment. Coleman's going to drive around the outside. I don't know if Ottinger had a moment there getting on the power. Yeah, Ottinger running a completely different line, backing his corners up considerably. Now he's going to cross over, trying to look to the inside on Coleman. Brandon Coleman may have made some adjustments. Get that truck to handle better given the lane that he was using. Didn't seem to be working a couple of laps ago, but he's made some changes. He's able to hold off the 76 of Ottinger, at least for now. Battle for second shaping up. Brian Rose has it. Paul Durkee all over the back bumper of that truck. He wants it bad. Saw Zach Millett getting into some lap traffic here. Almost had an issue with the 55 of Robert Chipman Jr. Caught him in a bad spot. Truck got out of shape, but he continues on. Maintains that lead over Brian Rose at 1.85 seconds. Paul Durkee has backed off just a bit from the back bumper of Brian Rose for that second spot. Some of these drivers have yet to pit. Durkee did pit at lap 27, so he does have fresher tires over Brian Rose, but Rose is able to defend. You got to imagine at this point, these tires, as far as the fall off is concerned, have equalized between those that pit and those that did not. Last lap for Paul Durkee at 23.62 with the newer tires to Brian Rose's 23.53. About a full 10th faster for Brian Rose. In fact, Brian Rose did run a lap just about a half-tenth quicker than Zach Millett that last time by. Still Millett out with a 2-second advantage over Brian Rose. Vincent Short still maintaining a top 5 spot, currently 4th. Nick Cote runs in the 5th spot, about 5-6 truck lengths at least in the rearview mirror. Further back in the pack, watch this battle continue on. 20 of Justin Lawson and Alfie Sharon. So Brandon Coleman finally decided he was going to hit pit lane under the green flag. So he's in front of this duo of drivers, though he's not on the lead lap, and is listed last in 21st. Coleman's 2 laps down. Easy to have happen if you make a pit stop here under the green flag. It's only a 3/4 mile racetrack. You're going to lose track position in a hurry. Pit road speed limit, certainly not what they're running out there. Now, if you're the first to come down and pit, you just kind of have to hope that the caution doesn't come out. You get trapped that lap down, but in that these drivers that have not pit, they take the opportunity, as you did, get their pit stops complete under the green flag, kind of make up the difference there and get that track position back. The advantage that Coleman has right now is those fresh tires, though, because he's probably running laps about a second or better a lap faster than the race leader. Gotta wonder if Zach Millett is just starting to save his stuff. Is he getting ready to come to pit lane? Because the deficit between himself and Brian Rose has shrunk by quite a bit. Half a second to be exact. It was almost 2 seconds just a few laps ago. Now it's 1.53. Could have been the Andy Sizemore truck in the mix there. Sizemore listed 14th, but I don't believe he's on the lead lap anymore. Brian Rose starting to catch the back of the 27. Nick Cote from top 5, he hits pit lane. And I stand corrected, that was not Sizemore, it was the 31 as Brian Rose comes to the pits. Brian Rose down pit lane, lap 74, his first pit stop of the day. We're only about 11 laps shy of halfway, so this is a good strategy really for Brian Rose with this long green flag run. Remember, they had 4 sets of tires over the wall. Gives them a lot to work with here, and at this stage, 4 tires going on the HBRShops.com F-150. He's down and away, 14.9 seconds. Zach Millett into the pits as well from the race lead. Millett drops the jack. He's down and away. Back in the fight here, 76 laps in. So Paul Durkee, now your new race leader. Now remember, his pit stops lap 27. Same for Vincent Short, Justin Lawson, Dan Baker. Larry Dickerson was lap 29, Jeff Ottinger 27 as well. So it's going to be a little bit longer before you start to see these guys come down pit lane, but I guess the question remains, how long do you really want to wait, given that guys like Brian Rose and Zach Millett are out there on fresh tires? They're going to be putting down some really fast laps. They're going to start to chew into your advantage because, well, you pit lap 27. Here we are at 78. You're certainly not on new tires by any means, so the pace that you had gained early on, well, that's no longer there. Drivers in the top 6 at this stage, they have to hope for a caution because it would trap everybody from P7 on back a lap down. Right now, the 31 of Milner, the first truck in position for the lucky dog. Zach Millett would need to get by him to receive it. Milner about a half a straightaway, maybe a little less away from Zach Millett in that lead spot. His last pit stop, lap 18 though, so he's really stretching out the tires. Could pay off though. Maybe not. Millett to the bottom. Zach Millett now in the lucky dog position here at lap 80. Dan Baker down pit lane for his second stop of the day. And never mind, Zach Millett goes by race leader Paul Durkee, gets his lap back the old-fashioned way. It's certainly good news for the 31 of Scott Milner because it puts him back in the lucky dog. So with that, green flag pit stops are complete. We are just about halfway. We're going to go HBR TV side by side. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Richmond Raceway here for the GOATS 170 DEP Graphics Truck Series, round 12. Paul Durkee continues to lead after getting off cycle with his pit stops. Zach Millett back up into the third position after getting his lap back the old-fashioned way after his pit stop. He has the fresher tires now by comparison. So as it stands right now, the top 5, the only trucks on the lead lap. Everybody else is down 1 or more. And that's really just due to the pit cycle and the way it went through. And you do have some guys still out there on old tires. The top 2, Durkee and Lawson. 13 and the 20. Durkee trying to get to pit lane here. It looks like he's slowed up a bit. Everyone's going to the inside. He's got to try and call out to these guys. Hey, I'm trying to get to pit lane here. You got to wonder if he's missed the pits here. Is it because of fuel he's got to come down? Has he pushed it all the way to the end? Let's keep an eye on the 13 truck here. Again, he pit last, lap 27. Here we are, lap 94. Stays out again. Justin Lawson, second place machine. Zach Millett runs third, Brian Rose fourth. Larry Dickerson runs in the 5th position. Durkee's making the strategy work so far. Really can't knock it until this race is over and see where it ends up getting him position-wise. He was fast enough to start in the 5th position today. Again, he's on a different tire strategy compared to a lot of the guys in the field. There's only a handful of them that opted for that lap 27 pit stop. And I think a few of them were really there just for the fact that they had some damage from the caution that preceded it. Albert Anderson trying to get underneath Durkee here, get his lap back. Anderson pit at lap 74, so he's got fresher tires than the 13 by a long ways. But again, they do seem to equal out after a while. Once they're wore out, they're wore out. Doesn't matter if they're 25 laps newer, it doesn't seem to make a difference. Lap times are still pretty consistently about the same. Yes, Albert was able to get on by here. Certainly wasn't like Durkee was dropping anchor. Lawson still in second, 4 seconds behind Paul Durkee. Coming to lap 100. Does Paul peel off here and hit pit lane? Still no. Now we've got 9 trucks on the lead lap. Guys starting to get their lap back just by passing the race leader instead of waiting for cautions or pit cycles. Again, the 2 drivers in the top 3 now. Lap 27 was their pit stop as Zach Millett just passed Justin Lawson recently for that 2nd spot. So Millett's completed his pit stop. Durkee still has to make his. Like Paul's going to go some laps down here. His really saving grace, if he gets it, would be a caution, but it remains to be seen. Slow out of 2. Looks like he's coming to pit lane this time. Race leader at the time, Paul Durkee in the pits. 4 tires and fuel, regularly scheduled stop for the 13 machine. Certainly loses the lead, likely to lose a lap here. Zach Millett down the backstretch. I think Durkee might be okay. Unless he's already down a lap, that very well could be the case, and indeed it is. Justin Lawson in the pits. Their Birdsong Brewing machine. So lap 105 of 170. Had a string of cautions early on, 3 to be specific, but things have cleaned up, calmed down pretty significantly. Now your top 10, the only trucks on the lead lap, and that number is growing every lap that goes by, especially with some drivers finally hitting pit lane. Larry Dickerson still needs to pit. I would expect him here pretty soon. Larry, the number 69 machine. Larry started in the 10th spot, currently runs 5th, but again, he's got to kind of hope for a caution here. It would really work out nicely for him if that were to happen. He's the only driver out there left to make his stop. Running 5th, caution comes out now. He could make his pit stop under yellow, not lose all that track position. Would probably force the hand of all the drivers within the top 10 to make a pit stop for tires and fuel, but not to be. Dickerson's down pit lane right now. Back out front, Zach Millett continues to lead. 6.1 seconds back to teammate Brian Rose. 62 laps remaining. Brian Rose running in the 2nd position. No pressure out the back for him. The 08 of Dylan Bryant. It's about 9 seconds. Rounded down, 8.5 seconds behind Brian Rose in 3rd. And Alfie Charon a couple of seconds behind. He's got a little bit of ground to make up. Derek Welch in the stream chat says, did Durkee go 70 laps on that run? Let's see here. He pitted lap 27 the first time. Double check his pit stop was lap 101 on his 2nd stop. I'm not great at math, but yeah, pretty close. Race leader's starting to get some more lap traffic. Brian Rose trying to fish his way through. He's got Andy Sizemore out the front windshield. Paul Durkee as well, but Paul's got some pretty fresh tires now compared to Brian Rose. That's the thing about these guys being off cycle, is it kind of seesaws back and forth. You got some guys on older tires, some guys on fresh, and then it switches. Later on in the run, when the guys that have those old tires, they take their chance to come down and get fresh tires, then it balances back the other direction. So that's what I mean by kind of seesaws back and forth. But on overall pace, it seems that Millett and Rose, the 08 of Dylan Bryan, Alfie Charon, Nick Cote, those guys in the top 5, it doesn't really seem to matter the strategy. They're still hanging tough there in the top 5. Vincent Short too. Vince is battling for that spot, it looks like he is on the outside. Nick may have just taken it away. Albert Anderson in the mix as well. This is all for position. 5th, 6th, and 7th as they run. Short goes to the bottom, dives it way down low, slides up the track a little bit, but so does the 94. Alongside at the stripe. Vince will have the spot for now, but not quite clear. It's driving in deep into 1. Looks like Cote might have got the wall. Trying to arc it down into turn 1, so move Vincent Short up to P5. expect race leaders to hit pit lane here no later than lap 140, lap 145. That would be enough to get them to the finish. And realistically, do it on a 2-stop strategy. Brian Rose, Zach Millett, Dylan Bryant, Alfie Chair, and the top 4 have only made 1 stop so far today. If we continue under the green flag all the way home, it looks like it's just going to be 2-stop race for these guys. They'll have 2 sets of tires still over the wall if they need them. So Vincent Short, his tires were changed off at lap 88. He got a little bit off cycle as well. Paul Durkee now, his pit stop lap 101. Justin Lawson was a lap later at 102. Durkee and Lawson 9th and 10th, still 1 lap down. We're seeing at the end of this run once again, Millett, and it might just be the traffic he's trying to negotiate through. He's lost about 3/4 of a second to Brian Rose. Rose runs P2, the number 89. Oh, big wiggle out of Millett there off at 2. Durkee's going to go to the inside again. Newer tires for Paul. It's his lap back, so now Durkee in 9th on the lead lap. So for him, at this point, a caution would be beneficial. He could get kind of waved back around. Not really would be a wave around car. Would still pit with the race leaders. Don't have to worry about lucky dog or anything like that. But if this goes another 15, 20 laps, I would be willing to bet you're going to see guys like Millett, Rose, and Bryant start to hit pit lane. Alfie Charon, probably the same story. Those drivers all pitting last time, 74, 73, 75. But here it is, Dylan Bryant. He's going to come early. He's going to come to pit lane here, take the tires, try to pull the undercut here, put some fresh rubber underneath them, see if he can gain some track position with faster laps. It's the way to do it sometimes. If you don't have the raw pace, you got to find it somehow. So that moves Alfie Charon up into the 3rd spot. Millett still leads. He's out of turn 4 here. Big difference in laps between these guys. Millett runs obviously out front here, but 5 seconds over Rose. That's bad enough. But then Alfie Charon, he's 16 seconds back, and they're running 23-second laps, so you kind of take that for what it's worth. Vincent Short, 19 seconds back. Paul Durkee in 5th, 21 seconds back. Remember, he just got his lap back, but now he's running in that 5th position. So already seeing some green flag stops once again. Guys trying to shake things up with some different strategies. We've talked about this so many times in the broadcast, not just here, but everywhere. Got to give credit to Larry McReynolds on the line. If you follow the leader, you're going to follow the leader. That's what these guys are trying to do, not just follow the leader. Change up things a little bit, pit a little bit earlier. You see how fast Bryant is going by Zach Millett there. As he's not in the lead lap. Klein gets in the fence, keeps it up top. Nervous moment there for Zach Millett. Chris Klein's going to come to the pits. Oh, contact with Kilgore and Sizemore, I think. Sizemore gets away with it. Kilgore continues on. No caution. Thought we were going to get the slowdown there. Not the case. Zach Millett going to come down pit lane here. Not willing to give up all that track position to those faster tires. He saw Bryant go by the way that he did. It's like, nope, not going to go to lap 140. Got to come now. Zach Millett in the pits, likely to be his final stop of the day. Cleanly into the pit box. Get a good look at that South Beach paint scheme he's got on that truck tonight. Fresh off his race at Homestead Miami Speedway. Couldn't even reskin it. Millett down and away, 14.95 seconds. Brian Rose now in the pits. It's going to relinquish the lead to Alfie Charon. Slow stop for Brian Rose, 15.47 seconds. Not too slow, but could have been quicker. 4 tires in Sunoco race fuel, though. He's down and away. Final stop of the day, unless we get another caution. He's still got some tires over the wall if he wants to try it. Well, Alfie Charon, your race leader, he's going to come to pit lane right now. So that's the shakeup here. 40 laps to go here from Richmond. Green flag stops just about wrapped up. We're going to step aside here, get another HBR TV side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Richmond Raceway here for the GOATS 170, the DEP Graphics Truck Series. Closing in on the final moments here from tonight's race. Paul Durkee, Zach Millett, Justin Lawson, Brian Rose, Dylan Bryant, your top 5 after everyone's final round of pit stops. Zach Millett just now taking the top spot away from Paul Durkee. 30 laps to go here from Richmond. 315 back out in front. Let's get a look at it here from the blimp. The pass for the lead just a moment ago. Millett to the bottom, follows Anderson on through. Again, Millett with fresher tires by comparison and just drives on away, puts a gap on the 13 truck as Alfie Charon slides along by as well. Charon listed as the 8th position, 1 lap down from Zach Millett. Millett continues to lead 3 full seconds over the 13 of Durkee. Lawson runs third. Brian Rose fourth. It's the furthest back down through the pack I think we've seen Brian Rose post pit stop so far. He's got some work to do here in the closing laps. He's 10 seconds behind race leader Zach Millett. He's got about 6.5 seconds to make up to catch Justin Lawson as Andy Sizemore hits pit lane for his final stop of the day as well. 25 laps to go here from Richmond Raceway. Paul Durkee still in the second position. Teammate Justin Lawson runs third. And Lawson started outside front row, outside of Zach Millett here today. Durkee started in the 5th spot. Chris Klein a little loose out of turn 2. Vincent Short in the 10th position, trying to work his way back through to the front here to get his lap back. Still 23 laps to go, runs 10th. Salvaged a decent afternoon so far, just needs to bring it home for a good finish. Kind of back to where we were at the end of that first pit cycle, about 7 trucks on the lead lap. Right now the 747 of Albert Anderson, first truck 1 lap down, be eligible for the lucky dog. Keep in mind, folks, this is an elimination race. We're getting into the latter stages of the Step Graphics Truck Series. 5 drivers will lose their eligibility for a championship contention here tonight. They will be eliminated. Scrape the wall for Lawson. 20 laps to go. Got Nikki Short in the stream chat. What's going on, Nikki? Thanks for stopping in. Alfie Charon gets his lap back, still runs P7. Certainly plenty of work to do. And for him, a caution would be welcomed, I'm sure. Himself, Zach Millett, a lot of these drivers, really, given how long this race is run under the green flag, all have tires available over the wall. It would certainly change the complexion of this race with the yellow, but the way they've been running, I don't expect it. It's been a pretty clean race. I know we had our struggles early on, as we typically do in most series. Cold tires, low air pressure, trucks just don't handle. People are excited, they want to get racing. Sometimes things happen. We're well past pit stops though. Tire pressures are up. This field is pretty well spread out. battles on the racetrack, not many. Chris Klein still trying to knock that outside wall down. Just a little kiss every lap. Still running well, though. Klein's in the 11th spot. Meanwhile, looks like Brian Rose has finally caught the 20 of Justin Lawson. 15 laps to go. Taking a look down low. Alongside of Lawson. Tire differential between these two is about 26 laps, so shouldn't be too difficult for Brian to complete this pass here in the next half lap or so. It's back to the power a little bit earlier. That is the advantage of having the grip. Brian Rose up into P3. Another second and a quarter. He can knock on the door of Paul Durkee here for the second spot. Some lap traffic in between, kind of insulating the 13 truck. Rose with a run. He's going to get to the inside of Chris Klein here. Lap truck number 51. Way shallow on the entry, though. Makes the pass. Next truck, he's got to get by the 55 of Chipman Jr. Goes way up top of the racetrack. Gives plenty of room to Brian Rose. Give him a wave, Brian. Give him a wave. Twelve laps to go. Zach Millett still out in front. 9 seconds the lead on the 13 of Paul Durkee. Brian Rose within the truck length and a half of the 13 truck here is, Ottinger comes down, almost makes contact. It's going to cost Brian Rose a ton of time. Top to bottom, bottom to top, back to the bottom. Brian Rose making his move for the second spot out of turn 2. Still side by side with Paul Durkee. Less than 10 laps to go. He's got him clear into turn 3. Move the 89 truck back into the second spot. Spent most of the evening up in that top 2, top 3 development, I guess you could call it. Durkee still having a solid run here. He's working the strategy to his advantage. Might be in line here for a solid top 5 here with less than 9 laps to go. Millett still out in front, extending that lead. 10 seconds plus now over Brian Rose. Nick Cote running in the 6th position now, in danger of going down another lap. Incredible the pace out of our leaders here this afternoon. Albert Anderson running in the 9th spot, putting a lap on the 08 truck. Dickerson, after his early issues, up into the 10th position. I'm sure he'd be thrilled with a top 10 finish here this evening. Started his day in a wreck. Same goes for Vincent Short. He was involved in that incident as well. Worked some tire strategy to his own liking. Found himself now in the 8th position. Alfie Charon's next on the list, but less than 4 laps to go. He's got a ways to go to catch him. A little bit fresher tires for the 15, though. If he can get there, he may have the advantage. Millet at the point, 2 laps to go. No pressure whatsoever out the back window. Closest competition's Brian Rose in the 2nd spot. Just a shade under a half lap behind. Millet is lapped up to P5. Last truck on the lead lap, the 08. Dylan Bryant. Millet takes the white flag. One more circuit around for that S4 guy. He can put another win sticker on the door of that machine. Zach Millet had a day, led the most laps, takes the checkered flag. He's going to win the GOATS 170 from Richmond Raceway. Now into turn 4, it's Brian Rose. Also minimal pressure, if any, out the back for the 89. He'll finish 2nd. Across the stripe, a solid day in race for Paul Durkee. He finishes P3. Zach Millet, your race winner. All of a sudden, it won't load his paint properly, but that doesn't matter. Zach Millet, your race winner here at Richmond Raceway. Cutting donuts here on the front stretch. We're going to jump out, take a quick break, be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Richmond Raceway here for the DEP Graphics Truck Series. The GOATS 170 is over and in the books. Zach Millett takes the checkered flag, and we're going to get word with our race winner here in just a moment. In fact, let's pull him up into the HBR TV booth right now. The driver of the 315, that S4 guy, Zach Millett. You got us?
Hey, Steve, got a copy.
Congratulations, a race win here tonight in that fancy South Beach paint scheme, man. You just didn't have time to wrap it again, or what's going on with that?
Man, I felt bad only running this thing one time last Sunday. So I mean, I know Richmond's got really nothing to do with Miami, but I had to bring it out one more time. The old Fahey Race Wraps design.
Well, I mean, you could go through Richmond, Virginia on your way to Florida. I mean, that's a possibility.
That's true. That is true.
All right, well, enough of the small talk. Let's talk about the race, man. Put the thing on the pole position. Only driver to crack 21 seconds in qualifying, and led every lap, not every lap, but most of the laps here tonight. Great pit stops, quick in and out. I mean, walk us through the plan. Was it just kind of go full send? I mean, that's kind of old school Zach Millett. What was the plan tonight?
It was pretty much old school Zach Millett stuff. It just send it, hope for the best, and however the strategy was going to play out, we'd have to play it by ear. I really expected a couple late cautions, so I know myself and the HBR guys, we really wanted at least one set of tires for the end. The first 20 laps, 25 laps on a set of tires, you were unstoppable. You were so much faster than everybody else. But, we ran green so long, Steve, that we had two sets over the wall just in case. we were good to go. A couple guys out there were trying to make it a two-stop race, but, man, you just lose too much pace out there.
Well, I mean, we watched it. I mean, looking at the pit count for you guys, yourself and Brian Rose, it was a two-stopper for you. You got it done.
Oh, was it two-stop? I lost count. I was out there stressed straight out.
It's the northern New Yorker in you. You can't count.
That's true. Just got to accept it,
Well, either way, a job well done here tonight. Of course, we're wrapping up the season here. We're getting close to the end. But next week, we go to Nashville. 120 laps around that place is going to be a lot different than what we had tonight here at Richmond. How do you feel about Nashville next week?
Oh, man, Nashville's awesome. It's not an easy track, but it's definitely a fun track. I look forward to it. We had some good races there in the past, and hopefully we can come out with maybe a top 3, top 5, whatever it is.
Maybe more of the same. Maybe another win for Zach Millett. You got a bunch of them. You're running out of room on the top of the door of those win stickers.
Yeah, keep them coming. I'll take them.
All right. Well, again, congratulations, Zach. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
I got to thank you, Steve, and HBR TV for the broadcast. Numb Thumbs Gaming and the NTRL. They brought on a new sponsor this week, Martin Sports. A big shout out to them. Thanks for hopping on board with them. Track Bar Media, Eric Dotson State Farm, Castle Products, HBRShops.com, and shoot me a follow over on Twitch at that S4 guy.
All right, Zach. Again, thanks for talking to us, and good luck next week in Music City.
Thanks, man.
Zach Millett, your race winner here tonight at Richmond Raceway. Next, we're going to talk to teammate Brian Rose. I'm sure he's going to be happy with the effort put in tonight, all the practice throughout the week, getting ready for tonight's event. Brian, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You with us?
Yeah, we're here.
Congratulations, man. A runner-up finish here. Again, runner-up to Zach Millett almost feels like a win. You had a strong truck tonight, battled your way back through the field multiple times after the pit cycles, man. Walk through your race. I know it's pretty similar to Zach Millett's, but was there any strategies that you had planned on using and did not? Or what'd you go with tonight?
Well, no stage, so not a whole lot to go through strategy-wise. I mean, there is for these long runs, but really strategy just coming into this is just try to figure out a way to beat Millett off pit road. I mean, if you do that, and that was my plan, to try to beat him a couple times, gain some track position on him. Once I seen that really wasn't going to cut it, we just took that HBRShops.com and truck and try to get a couple laps leg, get some points. Had to come away with some good points tonight, sort of out of the playoffs, was on the cut line after missing that race last week, so we'll see how the points shake out after tonight.
Did notice the new truck here as of late. Why don't you tell us more about HBRShops.com?
Hey, HBRShops.com, it's a place on our website. You can go and find all of our merchandise. All 6 of our drivers, 7 of our drivers, all have merchandise lines. But we also got golf balls, we got mouse pads, we got drinkware. Getting ready to launch a new summer collection. We've been doing pretty good, selling quite a few shirts and some other accessories and stuff. So go on HBRShops.com and check it out. And while you're there, go over to our Facebook page, give us a like. But man, It's Eric Dotson State Farm. I got to thank them, Trap Bar Media, that S4 guy, HBR TV for sure, DEP Graphics, Sim Central, Gear. Man, everybody who helps do this. It's a fun league, fun getting out here on Tuesday nights, some competitive guys and trying to run with them.
Well, points aside, I know you talked about trying to score maximum points tonight to kind of stay in the fight because we're going to eliminate 5 tonight. But next week we go to Nashville Super Speedway. Do you feel pretty confident at Nashville?
Man, with this Holler Boys racing team you got, it's hard not to feel confident about it anywhere you go. I got tracks that I struggle with, but just get out there and with these guys and practice all week and, learn different lines and different strategies that we're going to play out through the race. And that's how we do it. We get out there and we grind all week. It's not show up on Tuesday nights or any other night and just drop the green and let's go. There's work that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people aren't seeing. So it's good to see it pay off every once in a while.
All right, Brian. Well, again, congratulations on a runner-up finish here tonight. You already got your shout-outs out of the way, man. So thanks for talking to us, and good luck next week.
All right, man.
It's Brian Rose, your second-place finisher here tonight at Richmond. Next, we're going to pull Paul Durkee up into the broadcast booth, get a word with third-place finisher Paul. It's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You with us?
Yes, sir.
Paul, congratulations, man. Started 5th, finished 3rd, led some bunch of laps here tonight. Thought you might have had something with the tire strategy figured out, but walk us through your night, man.
Yeah, me and Justin, we knew if we could get to lap 30, anything close to that, we could pit and make a one more stop from there. So I think it was 32 when we got that caution, and we thought we had something, but Millet is just so fast.
Well, Zach certainly does have a lot of pace in a lot of places, but I assure you he's beatable. I've seen it happen. Give it time, man. It will certainly creep up. Your day will come. You keep finishing these top 5 finishes to where you are. You got to be there at the end, and you have been. You'll get that W soon enough, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, just keep pointing them to death.
That's all you can do.
That's all we're trying to do. I mean, right now we just trying to get all 3 of our teammates moving forward in the playoffs.
And I got to tell you, it's really been a noticeable improvement as of late. The last handful of races, all of you guys have picked up the pace. I don't know if you just found a new gear, you learned something, or just, it's playoff time, it's time to go. But it's been noticed, and you guys are coming on strong. It's good to see.
Yeah, I think we're just racing a little bit smarter, too. We're just trying to play it smart, get the points, take what we can, don't try to force anything. And it's working out really well. And my teammates are great. We work well together. We share information. And so it's a blast.
Well, Paul, again, congratulations on that 3rd place finish tonight. Next week, we go to Nashville Super Speedway. How do you feel about Nashville?
I like Nashville. I really do. I think we can get another top 5 there. I shouldn't be anything less than the top 10, but I'm pretty sure we can get a top 5. I just want to thank you. You do a great job on your broadcasting. It's awesome.
Well, Paul, I certainly do appreciate that. We try. I'm my worst critic, so I think you're lying. But either way, I do appreciate the kind words, man. We love doing it, and looks like Derek's got us coming back next season for more trucks and maybe even another series. We'll see. But who else you want to shout out to before we let you go, man?
Shout out to Derek and Numb Thumbs Racing League, my teammates, and my wife who lets me do this because I know it drives her crazy.
Yeah, it drives them all nuts. But Paul, again, congratulations, man. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week in Nashville.
Thanks, Steve.
It's Paul Durkee, your 3rd place finisher here tonight. That's our top 3. Let's take a look at our race results. As we talked to Zach Millett, Brian Rose, Paul Durkee. 4th place finisher was Justin Lawson. Dylan Bryant was 5th. Nick Cote brought it home in the 6th position. Alfie Charon, P7. Vincent Short was 8th. Larry Dickerson, 9th. Albert Anderson finished 10th. Chris Klein was 11th. Double Joe Bennett finishes P12. Russ Kilgore was 13th. Dan Baker was 14th. Blaine Woodruff finishes in the 15th position. 16th finisher, Andy Sizemore. Jeff Ottinger was 17th. Scott Milner, 18th. Brandon Coleman was 19th. Tony Polk, 20th. And last but not least, Robert Chipman Jr. Glad he stuck it out here, 4 laps down, but didn't quit. Stuck around to the very end. So That is your finishing order here for the GOATS 170 from Richmond Raceway. Got to thank all you guys for tuning into the broadcast here tonight. Thanks for those who showed up into the stream chat. Again, always welcome, always appreciated. You guys are kind of the stars of the show, I guess you could say, and races that aren't necessarily the most entertaining or exciting gives me something to talk about. It's much appreciated, so keep coming back and doing that. And if you don't want to miss a minute of the action, you got to check us out at hbrtv1.com. Brand new website, still under construction, but adding things here and there. Screenshots from the night's races. You're able to click the live tab in the upper right corner and watch the races live. Pick up the YouTube feed from there. Lots of good things still to come. We're going to have a partners list, contact information, you know the works. So please check that out. And also give us a like, a follow, a share. Turn on the notifications on the YouTube and Facebook side of things. Those likes, please, if you're watching the broadcast, before you get out of here, make sure you do smash that like button. It does help get this in front of some new eyeballs each and every week. So we do appreciate it. I know you can't always remember to do it. It's a pain in the butt. I know it's hard to click that one little button, but please do it. We do appreciate it. It's going to wrap it up for us here at HBR TV. I'm Steve Singer, congratulating Zach Miller on the race win here tonight in the GOATS 170. Catch us next week out at Nashville. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.